Hello! I've done a lot of villain videos lately, but today we're going to actually build a sympathetic villain together. And so we go with, because what if the person you're supposed to hate is the one you just can't help but root for? So many stories, as you know, may well. No, give us villains who are just plain evil. You know the type, they twirl their mustaches and cackle maniacally and want to destroy the world for reasons? Who knows? But the antagonists that really stick with us, the ones that make a story unforgettable, are the ones we get. The ones whose pain we feel, even while we're hoping they lose. Today, I'm going to give you 5 steps to make your readers sympathize with your antagonists, transforming them from a cardboard cutout into a character who feels terrifyingly real. And we're going to build one together right here, a ruthless CEO who guts an entire town, all to save his dying daughter. Now, introduction for this, let's be clear on this. A sympathetic antagonist isn't a good person. We're not trying to excuse their awful actions. In storytelling, sympathy is really just about understanding. It's about letting the reader see the villain's humanity and the logic behind their choices. Because even when those choices are completely destructive, there might be some reason behind it, not just the as mentioned earlier. So why bother? Because a flat villain creates a flat story. But an antagonist with a soul, with a real reason for why they are the way they are, makes your hero and your reader face some tough questions. It makes the story feel messy and real. The goal isn't to get the reader to forgive your villain. It makes them whisper, in their shoes, what would I do? So let's meet our villain. We'll call him Alistair Vance. On the surface, he's a monster. As the CEO of a mega corporation, he's rolling into a small town and systematically crushing every local business in his path. He's wrecking the economy and forcing people from their homes, all for the bottom line. He's the bad guy, but now we're going to give him a soul with Section 1, the unshakable motivation. Your antagonist needs that unshakable human motivation. Villains who are evil just for the fun of it, because I like doing the laughing all the time. Let's be honest, they're just kind of boring. A great antagonist doesn't see themselves as a villain after all, because in their own head, they're the hero. And their goal is completely justified in their mind. And that goal can't be something vague like world domination. I want everybody underneath my thumb so I can go squish on them. It has to be specific, personal, and urgent. Something a reader can instantly connect with. Like protecting family, getting revenge for a past wrong, or stopping what they see as a future disaster. For our CEO, Alistair Vance, it's not about greed. The truth is, his daughter, Lily, has a rare and terminal disease. Every penny he's ruthlessly squeezing out of the town is funding a desperate, last-ditch experimental treatment, the only thing on Earth that might save her. His actions are still mantras. He's destroying a community to save one life. But the reason, the desperate, all-consuming love of a parent for their child, well, that's something we all get, isn't it? He isn't doing this because he's cruel. He's doing because he feels backed into a corner. The town's suffering isn't a goal. It's just collateral damage he's willing to accept. And just like that, he's no longer a simple corporate shark. Section 2. The wound of the backstory. The past, their backstory. So for this, remember, give them a wound. A tragic backstory is what fuels their motivation. It explains why this one goal matters so much, that they're willing to do terrible things for it. This is the source of their pain and their twisted logic. The trick is to sprinkle in the details, not dump it all at once. Let the reader be a detective. So for Alistair, the tragedy isn't just his sick daughter. Maybe we see him alone in his office, staring at a faded photo on his desk. But it's not his daughter. It's a woman who looks just like her. Later we might overhear a conversation where someone mentions that this is the same disease that killed Alistair's wife 10 years ago. See there, it's not just a tragedy, it's history repeating itself again and again and He already failed to save his wife, and he's haunted by it. And now he will burn the world down if he fails again. The old wound changes everything. His ruthless plan no longer feels like cold strategy. It feels like a frantic, desperate fight against fate. He's not just fighting for his daughter's future. He's battling the ghosts of his past. This doesn't excuse what he's doing, but it does explain it. So, alright, now we've laid the foundation for human motivation and a past wound. Before we get to step 3, if this framework is helping you think about your own characters, go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss something that's coming next. We're here to help you build better stories after all. Section 3, the cracks in the armor. You give them relatable qualities. The cracks in their armor could be something like even the worst villain isn't a monster 24/7. You need to give them moments of humanity. It could be a soft spot for animals. After all, who doesn't like a cute little puppy or kitten? Well, if you don't, well, you're not my kind of person, so go away. Anyway, a weird sense of humor, a surprising act of kindness, anything that shows there's a person under all that villainy. These moments are what make a character feel less like a plot device and more like a real person. For Alistair, the crack in the armor is Lily. In the boardroom, he's a stone-cold shark who fires people without blinking. You blew it. Get out of here! Type of thing. But then, we cut to the hospital. He's by Lily's bedside. His voice is soft as he reads her a story. Perhaps he helps her with a puzzle. And in that moment, he's not a CEO. He's just Dad. Maybe he even does something unexpectedly kind, like quietly paying the medical bills for another family in the children's ward. That contrast is what makes him compelling. The man who can ruin a family's life without a second thought is the same one holding his daughter's hand, promising her everything will be okay. It doesn't make him a good guy. It just makes him a guy. We see that what he's fighting for, and more importantly, what he's terrified to lose. The vulnerability is what makes the reader feel the weight of his choices. Section 4, the war within, also known as the inner conflict. You want them fighting a real inner battle. A great antagonist isn't 100% sure they're doing the right thing. They should feel the weight of their actions. They should have moments of doubt, guilt, or even self-hatred. Their choices shouldn't be easy. That struggle is what makes them so fascinating to watch. Alistair doesn't have to enjoy what he's doing. We should have a scene where he's alone at night, watching a news report about the families he's ruined. He sees a little girl on the screen about Lily's age, and he visibly flinches before pouring a stiff drink with a trembling hand. Maybe he gets into a shouting match with a researcher who questions his methods, and he explodes. I heard you to say my daughter, not be my conscience. That anger isn't coming from a place of confidence. It's coming from a place of defense. He's trying to convince himself that the ends justify the means. That internal war makes him an active participant in his downfall, not just a bystander. He has to keep choosing to be the bad guy again and again and again and again. And we see how it eats away at his soul. That's the struggle that creates the empathy or sympathy or whatever. Anyway, Section 5. Your villain is the mirror to the hero. And so here we have, you make him the mirror of the hero. The best hero-villain rivalries are built on a terrifying similarity. They might share a goal, a past, or a key personality trait. They just choose different ways to deal with it. The antagonist is the dark reflection, the what-if version of the hero. They are what the hero could have become if they took one wrong step. Let's say our hero is Sarah, a fiery journalist fighting to save the very town Alistair is destroying. To make them mirrors, let's give Sarah a similar wound. She lost her little brother years ago because her family couldn't afford his medical care. Suddenly the fight is intensely personal. Both Sarah and Alistair are driven by the exact same trauma, the loss of a loved one, and are desperate to stop it from happening again. He's willing to sacrifice a whole community for the one person he loves. She's fighting for that community because she knows exactly what it feels like to be the one left behind. This changes the entire story. Of course, we're rooting for Sarah, but we do understand Alistair. The central question is no longer, can good beat evil? It's, in a world this unfair, what's the right way to fight back? The antagonist isn't just an obstacle anymore. They're essential to the story's theme. So in conclusion, let's recap our 5 steps, which are 1. An unshakable human motivation. 2. A past wound that fuels it. 3. Cracks in the armor that show their humanity. 4. An internal war over their own actions. And 5. Make them a dark mirror of your hero. Remember, the goal here isn't to make your villain likable or even forgivable. It's to make them understandable. When you layer in that motivation, pain and humanity, you graduate from cartoonish good versus evil and create something that feels complex, messy, and real. You write a story that will haunt your readers in the very best way possible, long after they finish it, and they may want to come back and read it again and again and tell all your friends about your story. Their friends about your story, because your friends already know about it, of course. So in this video, if this video sparked some ideas for your own antagonist, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more writing tips, and let me know in the comments what you'd like me to cover in future videos. And I also have a question for you. Who's your favorite sympathetic villain from a book or movie? Drop their name in the comments and tell me why you can't help but root for them or understand them. I'll love to geek out over your examples. Thanks for watching, and now go write something unforgettable. I will see you in 7 days. Have a great day and a great week. So long.